Hi, friend. So, tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is the day that I travel to Portugal. This will be my first time doing a solo trip abroad. Let me fix this camera. But I wanted to share a few thoughts with you guys to get you going for the week and just really riff and talk about what's on my mind. So, doing this trip was sort of an impromptu thing. When the person who's leading the trip announced that she was doing it, I was like, no brainer, I'm doing it. I was a part of, this was one of the certification programs I was a part of, doing embodiment, learning somatic movement embodiment. So I'm technically a certified movement instructor, teacher, guide, whatever you want to call it. I like to say guide. Helping people heal and reconnect with their bodies, their body's wisdom, their intuition, so that they can lead their lives with more clarity and more personal power through movement. And so I get to meet all of the women that I went through the program with in person, so that's going to be beautiful. And in order for me to do this trip, it had to be, and still has to be, a me first thing, like a me first mindset. And I have noticed just how much I've been struggling with the me first mindset. And I say me first because it's like you have to feel, not almost, you have to feel selfish when you're shifting from the mindset of constantly over functioning, being codependent, and acting in a way where you're people pleasing and you're externally oriented, meaning you're always thinking about and anticipating how to please and serve and soothe other people outside of you externally, right? And so when you're healing those patterns and you're creating new ways of being, you have to, or you're going to feel selfish. So in a sense, you can say you have to be selfish when you're trying to change those patterns, because your body, your nervous system isn't going to feel safe doing these things, and it's going to feel selfish because you're used to the default way of being, which is sacrificing yourself. So whenever you say me first, for me, it's been feeling so unnerving at times, and it's a practice and you'll get used to it. But it's like my body's default wants to think of others and orient towards others. And so it's almost like this, I don't want to say a war, but it's like this coming back home to the awareness that, oh, this actually isn't selfish. Like thinking about me first isn't a bad thing. It's actually a necessary thing, because when I think about me first and I take care of myself and I love myself and I consider my needs, my wants, and then I act in alignment of what I truly want and need in life, I'm no longer sacrificing in the sense like I have nobody's honoring my needs and wants because I'm not doing it. And then I'm going into a deficit. I'm going into resentment. I'm going into overwhelm and burnout. And now I'm showing up in the world constantly on edge. One, because I'm constantly on edge trying to please and anticipate others' needs and wants, and having this internal war with myself where it's like, I should be doing this for them, or I should be considering what they want. But there's a part of me that has a desire as well. And I'm used to suffocating that desire and shrinking it in order to please others. So I say this because this whole trip is a selfish trip. It benefits no one but me. Like my children are with their grandma. I will leave all of my responsibilities and I will be absent from them for 7 days to, for myself, to please myself, to benefit myself, my career, my development. It's a retreat, you know? So it's like, it's one of the longest trips I've ever had, period, abroad. It's the longest vacation type trips I've ever had, period. 7 days. So it's going to be like 5 days of retreat and 2 or 3 days of travel. And so it's really testing me. And like every step of the way, I've noticed that I'm being tested, or at least I'm confronting the parts of me that are really wanting me to shrink and really wanting me to not do this. Like, and not in the sense of not go to the retreat because I'm committed, but like this guilt that's been like lingering and like popping its head at me. Whenever it's like, oh, you have to leave your kids with your family, and they're doing it purely because they love your kids and they love you. But there's this guilt that's like, no, like, I don't want them to, like, are they going to be okay? Like, are they going to be a burden? Like, let me send money, let me send food, like, what else do I need to do? Because I am feeling like you're doing this just because you love me and you love my kids. Like, there's an uneasiness with you. And I'm being vulnerable with you guys right now. Like, even though it's my family and I know they love me, within me, there is this, like, sense of, like, I could honor, I could honor my needs, and they are doing this for me simply because they love me and they love my kids. Like, that makes me want to cry, because it's like, allowing myself to be loved just because, without me having to rush and to do something. Like, this whole trip is it's a splurge for me. And it's like, I'm loving me by doing this, and my family's loving me by stepping in and taking over the responsibilities that would normally be mine, and loving my children, you know, like they always do. But, you know, again, this trip is a big deal for me. So I've been confronting that guilt that's been popping up. Some shame has been popping up, of like this is too much, like you're asking too much, you're doing too much. And it's like, even when it goes to like spending money on the things to buy for the trip. So I say all this to say, I'm doing it anyways. I'm doing all the things, but I've been mothering myself through the discomfort, mothering myself through the part of me that says, you're doing too much. You don't deserve this. Like, you have to work to get this. Like, you need to do something else in exchange. You can't just simply get it because you want it and go out and do it. Like, you need to do something for your family. Like, you need to, like, whatever it may be. And it's like, no, I don't. Like, my family is doing this because they love me and they love my children. And there's nothing more to prove, you know? There's nothing more that I need to do except receive, allow myself to receive it, allow myself to feel like, oh, I'm being a little selfish. Like, I'm leaving for 7 days. What? Like, I'm leaving for 7 days to be self-indulgent. And normally I'm the one who's taking care of everyone, taking care of everything, but I'm leaving for me. And that's it, just because I wanted to. And that's all the reason I fucking need. Like, so just assuring myself, and I hope this encourages you, that to do the thing that feels crazy, it feels outrageous, it feels just a little bit extra, like, you don't deserve this, you shouldn't do this, it's too much. Like, you know, do you ever think, like, you know, for me, I know I do this, it's like, oh, I want this thing, immediately I know I want that, and then you start to bring in all the excuses, like, oh, but it would be better if it was this way, oh, if it would be better if it was that way, or it'll be easier for so and so if we do it this way, like that, versus, and then we end up getting a watered down version of what we really wanted instead of just getting the thing that we wanted just because we wanted it. This is a practice I've been in for myself. Like, then at the end of like, and they could be little things. It could be like, where you're going to eat at. And it could be, what do you want to do for the weekend? You know, what do you want to spend your extra money on this month? And you start off with that intuitive hit. Like, I know that I want to do this thing. I want to go eat seafood. And then you come and you say, but it's too expensive and we can just go eat tacos, you know? Or it would be easier for so-and-so if we did this because whatever, versus saying, no, I want this thing. That intuitive hit is my body's wisdom telling me I want it, and then doing all the steps to go and get it. So I say that because, like, for this trip, it was an intuitive hit. It was like, oh, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to this motherfucking retreat, okay? I'm going to it. And then I did all the things that it required for me to be able to do it. But there was still that lingering guilt that came, a lot of stories that came in the preparation of this trip that was like, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, you're whatever, like, you don't need to, whatever it was. And I've been having to confront that part of me multiple times where it's like, me first. No, me first. I get to want what I want simply because I want it. I don't have to justify or water it down. I get to say, this is what I want. This is where I want to live. This is where I want to eat. This is the career I want to pursue. This is the type of clientele I prefer to work with, right? This is the message I want to deliver. And then let it be that. Let it be so. And then after you let it be so, then you can have the experience and allow yourself to tweak and to refine as you go. Versus watering it down, explaining it away, your true desires. Like, you have a true desire, and then you water it down, you explain it away, you try to simplify it, you try to put it in a box so that it pleases and fits everyone else's wants, right? But it's like, no, I get to want what I want simply because I want it. And because I trust that what I want is going to be the best thing for me and for my family. Because I wouldn't take action on things that I don't feel are going to be best for me or my family or my friends or whoever, right? And I'm saying this to the woman who has something that she wants to do or somewhere she wants to be. Maybe it's somewhere you want to move. Maybe it's a career you've been considering, a new job, a new position, starting a new business or side hustle. Maybe you've been wanting to put your feet out there in the dating pool and try something new, you know? Whatever that thing is for you that you've been thinking about, but you haven't taken action on, and you're like, I really want to do that thing, but then you start to excuse it away. That first initial hit is what I want you to give yourself permission to do. And if you feel like that's too difficult, you're like, but the thing I want is too big, and there's so many like layers to it that I need to unpack first, start with meeting your own desires in the small ways. Start with, no, I said I didn't want to go to this event. I'm not going to the event. Start with allowing yourself to change your mind without guilting and shaming yourself. I simply changed my mind. And I'm not saying like change your mind. Like, if you're one of those people who's always backing out last minute, that's annoying. You want to be integral with your word. I'm talking about the woman who does whatever it takes, even if she's sick, even if she's like in the hospital, she's like, I'm going to do the thing that I said I was going to do because I said I was going to do it, because I'm so afraid of not showing up and being a woman of my word and how I'm going to look to other people. Let it be that sometimes you are simply allowed to change your mind. Meaning, if I committed to an event that's a month from now and the month comes up and I'm sick or I'm just like, I'm not feeling it, I'm going to allow myself to politely say I changed my mind and not guilt myself, not shame myself, but trust that I'm doing what's best for me. I'm not acting out of fear or scarcity, but I'm acting out of walking in alignment with what is the best, truest, most best thing for me. I'm walking in alignment of the truest most best thing for me. That's probably not grammatically correct or whatever, but I like it. I'm walking in alignment with what is the truest and most best thing for me. Okay? Because I trust that I know what it is. And I also trust, I made a reel the other day about there's no right decision. There is just a decision that you make right. And I forget who I get that from. I get somebody online. I trust that I am going to take the action that I believe is the most truest and best action for me. And then I trust myself that if it turns out to not work in the ways that I wanted it to, or maybe it's starting to become out of alignment, or maybe it's something I thought I wanted, like when I moved to Nashville, I thought I wanted that. And I did. And when I got there, I realized I don't like living here. And so I had to trust my desire, trust that what I'm feeling and knowing to be true is true. And then I made the shift and we moved back to California. That doesn't mean that I made a dumb decision moving to Nashville. And it doesn't mean that I made the wrong decision moving to Nashville. I so much was shaken out of me in Nashville. I would do it again and again and again. I needed that trip. I truly needed that trip to become the woman that I am today. Like, it was a hard time for me. And yet I needed it so deeply. And so this leads me to trust that the things that you desire are for a reason. You desire them for a reason. And when you allow yourself to live in alignment with the truest, most best thing for you, your desires, your wants, given that they're morally, I said this to someone before and they was like, you can't say that because what if somebody wants to be a murderer? What if somebody wants to, whatever? I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but I'm like, clearly the people listening to me are not those type of people. This is not to say if you desire to do something immoral or against the law or anything like that, that just go and do it because you feel it, right? This is talking simply about your desires. This is talking about what you want for your life. This is talking about like your career, your relationships, things like that, that are in alignment with your highest self, in alignment with the truest, best thing for your life. That's not intentionally harming other people, right? And so I want to wrap this up, but I hope that you are able to take something from this. Take the trip, make the pivot, make the call, cut off the relationship, whatever it is for you that you have been beating yourself up over the head with guilt and shame. Like, I should want this instead of what I truly want. I should do this. I should do B instead of A, although A is my truest desire, because B makes more logical sense. I should do B instead of A because this is what is culturally, societally acceptable, right? Allow yourself to indulge in what you want simply because you want it. If you're listening to this show, most likely you're someone recovering from people pleasing and good girl patterns and over giving and over functioning for others. So this episode, if anything, let it be a reminder. Let it be an anchor for you to remember that you also are allowed to want what you want and to have it simply because you want it. You're so used to giving to other people what they want or what you anticipate or assume that they want and need simply because they want it. And I'm just saying, redirect that energy, shift your focus to you. You are allowed to want what you want. You are allowed to indulge in a me first attitude. And the me first attitude is, what do I want? What do I need? What would I like? Without any reasoning, without watering it down, without trying to put it in this perfect little box that fits everybody's expectations and the good girl, like I'm still gonna look good and people are still gonna love me if I do it this way. Like, no, letting all of that go. So ask yourself, if there's something that you want in your life, but you're afraid to do it, if no one could get hurt, what decision would I make? What would I choose? If the world was at my fingertips and I was the queen of the world, the queen of my life, and there was no consequences, what choice would I make? And allow yourself to just write it down and see what comes up. See what comes up. And see what excites you. So I leave you with this. What would it be like if you allowed yourself to want what you want simply because you want it? To desire what you desire simply because you desire it. No justifications, no filter, just what do I want? I'm allowed to want what I want simply because I want it.